Mm.
Hello and welcome back. Today I'm joined with the amazing Hayley Perkins from Willow and Flame. Hayley, introduce yourself and let us know what it is that you do.
Well, thank you, Vicky. So yeah, I'm Hayley. Willow and Flame is like my sideline business, if you like. I've been a therapist for 21 years now, and at the back end, I've had the aromatics business for quite a while, but I've never launched it and taken it as a serious business until this year. And what prompted that was I was at a bit of a crossroads with my therapy practice, and last year, after losing my dad, life slowed down, and through that slowing down, I realised the brand I'd spent 20 years building, if diets don't work, wasn't where I wanted to work anymore. So the candles have been a really nice way of me being able to give myself some time and space to think about what I want for my therapy practice. What I realized was I'd stopped making the candles a couple of years ago and really missed that creativity.
Mm.
And I've been on my own kind of spiritual journey, if you like, in the last couple of years, and I'd lost I'd lost that deeper connection to myself. So the candles primarily were my therapy. They got me away from social media. They gave me a space to just get my head straight at a time when I really needed it. And I thought to myself, I've got a very, very different community now to what I did a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it was so welcomed. I just put a post out saying, right, does anyone want some branded candles? And it went a bit bonkers. So it was a really welcome distraction, but it got me thinking that I think in the past, because I'm a manifesting generator, I've always had lots of different businesses. And so part of why I stepped back from the candles was because I just didn't have the time and I wasn't doing everything how I wanted to. And it was a pressure. So I stopped the candles. We had a motorhome hire business. We sold them to focus solely on my therapy. What I realized actually that just having the therapy in my life wasn't enough. So here we are. So back in March, I rebranded. Willow and Flame was born from the ashes, like the phoenix, and I have my own brand. I have my own brand, the Willow and Flame brand, but also looking at expanding the corporate and branded range as well. So, and also have a subscription box. So there's the three strains to the business. And this year has been all about getting all the branding sorted. We're having a Shopify shop built, ready for next year, where we're going to be ramping it all up. And this is now candle season. So I've got loads of events booked, yours being one of them. Very much looking forward to coming and showcasing Willow and Flame, and also as a nominee for one of the awards.
Yeah. I mean, I've sat back and I've watched you literally go from everything is about the therapy and the, what to do if the diets don't work culture. And, I've literally watched you pivot from that and into this amazing candle business, which I have to say, Hayley, completely lights you up. Your energy before wasn't bad or anything like that, but there is a new sparkle in your eyes. There is a new energy that just comes from you. The passion, the excitement, the oh, what am I going to create next? It's just wonderful to watch you see there. But so yeah, really, 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 really looking forward to having you at the Business Ascension Symposium and Awards in October, which leads us swiftly into the next piece. So Hayley's going to be exhibiting with us for the symposium, which is going to be really amazing to be able to smell the candles, to be in the candles. I actually have Hayley's candle now. In all my years of having candles, I've never loved a candle as much as I loved Hayley's candle that was delivered when I went to her business boost session. But I tell you what I did do, which I've never done before. I knocked it over and got the wax over my laptop, over my file.
An expensive candle. Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
But I have to admit, even just getting the wax off was so easy and so simple because it wasn't full of toxins. So absolutely. So yeah, you definitely need to go and get into Hayley as well. But I digress. So bringing us back then, we've got the event, 16th of October. Hayley, how did you feel when you first saw what I was doing? What on earth went through your mind?
I've really stepped away from events in the last year. As you know, you came along to one of my little business boosts. I had spent the last 2 years going to all the big events, and don't get me wrong, I know the work that goes into them, and I think they're brilliant. They're just too much for me. And
Mm.
as I said, I'm trying to really listen to my intuition and to go with what feels right. And I can't give you a swanky answer to what you've just asked me, other than it just felt right. There was a choice between where I wanted to be. There were two events going on, yours and someone else's, similar price to exhibit, but I didn't make the decision from my head. I made it from my heart, which is completely new. I still pinch myself sometimes going, is this really me? Is this me? But I'm starting to really trust what feels right. And
Mm.
we've met a couple of times at the business boost, kind of just a bit blown away by your level of intuition. I don't know, it just feels right. It feels right. And I saw a couple of the judges on the panel who I really like, and that I trust them, because there's a lot of people have their views about award ceremonies, and I think it's down to the people that are there. And you've got a couple of people on the judging panel who I trust, who I think are very ethical in the way they operate in their businesses and in their lives. So again, I think there's all these little factors that have just made it feel right for me. And also, there's going to be a lot of lovely businesses there that I can talk to and communicate, like especially the corporate side. So it just
Mm.
felt, and I want to be there. There's always FOMO, isn't there? Really, I don't really get that now, but I just felt that this was somewhere where I wanted to be.
Wanted to be, and that's what I love more than anything. And that's partially what I've tried to get across into the marketing a little bit. I don't want this an event to be an event that you feel that you have to go to for the sake of going to. I want this to be something to be a part of because you feel it inside that you want to be there. Because I think that's such a different energy as well. But
Absolutely.
thank you so much for sharing that, Hayley. Now, when we opened the nomination forms, you were amazingly nominated, which we knew would happen because look what you're doing with the Widow and Flame. It's amazing. So you've been nominated, and then you've gone through to the finals. So share a little bit of that journey with me from nomination to finalist. What's been the journey for you on that front?
I um I suppose for me, I've never put myself forward for an award. It's never been something that has been particularly important to me. But for some reason, this feels like a real recognition,
Mm.
because relaunching Willow and Flame this year has not just been about launching a product. There's been a lot of personal development work I've had to do in the background to overcome, telling someone that you have a candle business, and I still do have my therapy practice, but there was a lot of ego involved in letting go of the perceived status that when someone asks you what you do. And so, I've worked through a lot of that stuff. So it actually, and it actually, I feel I feel really honored and really humbled, but I also feel like I deserve it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Proudly.
so to be fair, I was sort of a bit, I knew I'd been nominated. I didn't even know I'd become a finalist. I think I messaged you and said, I'm a bit confused. I'm getting these emails. Does that mean I'm a finalist? Must have missed an email somewhere. So it shows you how I wasn't like attached to it.
Mm.
But since becoming a finalist, I feel really proud. I can't wait to, and you know what? I've looked at the list of finalists. There's some awesome people in there, but it doesn't matter whether I win or not. It's just that recognition. And if I knew who'd nominated me, I just, anyone who did, I get the most amazing feedback on my candles, and I know how good they are, but it still blows me away. And that's part of my, I need to accept that, and I need to feel how other people feel about the products. I don't know if that actually answered
Absolutely.
your question, did it?
Yeah, no, it did because you've accepted the nomination, you've gone through it, and then your journey with that as well as a brand new, because Willow and Flame is a brand new thing this year, isn't it? So to then get into the finalist, to then, so you're a massive part of the UK's first ever Spiritual Entrepreneur Awards because you're sponsoring by exhibiting,
Yeah,
you're now a nominee and a finalist, and you're going to be there in the room with some really amazing people. And that is what lights me up more
yeah,
than anything else. It's not just an event, this is a movement. And I just feel it's a really special place that you get to come and share that with us.
absolutely.
So
And it does feel like that. It really does. It does feel like that.
for me, it's a very special movement as well. And I know a few people have said I have been close to giving up a few times, I'm not going to lie. I have, but it's not about me. This event is not about me, and it makes me really emotional because
Yeah.
it's about everybody else. It's about that recognition. It's about that. There's never been a space in the business entrepreneurial industry where spiritual entrepreneurs are recognized and seen. So to be able to give that recognition to everybody that needs it, deserves it, earns it, and steps forward with it is one of the most magical things I think I'm ever probably going to do in my life.
And that's what makes it, that's why you're forging forward with it,
It
in
is.
spite of all the tech problems, in spite of all the other crap that's gone on around
Oh,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, the
And
tech has been the bane of my life.
absolutely. And the thing is, the people that you're attracting to the event know that. Anyone who's organised any kind of event knows how hard it is to organise, but also the other stuff that goes around it, the challenges that it, like with me and the candles, it's had a deep emotional impact on me as well. It's growth, isn't it? And growth is really painful at times. But everyone that will be there will be 100% rooting for you.
Absolutely. And I can't wait. But again, it's not about me. It's not about rooting for me. It's about rooting for everybody else in that recognition with this movement. So Hayley, thank you so much for being a part of this today. We're going to have to wrap it up there, but
Well,
thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing your views, and thank you for being a part of this really special movement because it's just so incredible. So for those of you that are watching, go and get your tickets, go and get involved. Don't sit there and think, oh, I might do. Get yourself involved because this isn't just another event. It really is a very special moment in time for history as well as the spiritual community. And I'll see you soon.
mhm.